everyone, today I am going to be going through all the planners and journals. I say all, like there's so many, but there's not so many this year, but all the planners and journals that I'm going to use this year. At the start of last year I feel like I set the bar pretty high for myself. I have a space on my desk for basically any journals that I'm using, and I decided to fill that space with various different journals, which I know it's good to have options and have a variety to choose from, but I just didn't get around to using them all. Part of that was down to the fact that it was such a busy year, but also part of the fact is that I was just grabbing for the same journals over and over again because that's what I fancied doing. So this year I've decided to give myself a bit of a chance, and I only have 5 journals and planners sitting in front of me here. 4 of them are journals. I only have 1 planner, which is quite an impressive thing if I do say so myself. Usually I have a couple of planners, or I have a work planner and a personal planner. This year everything is in 1 planner. I do doubt that I will stay in this 1 planner for the whole year, but I have been in this since November, I think, and it's now January, which is coming up for 2 months, so I'm pretty impressed with myself. So you never know, I might stay in this all year, we don't know. So I will start with this because I'm already talking about it, but this is the B6 Kikki.K. It isn't in the UK yet as of making this video. It might be by the time I post this video because I'm pre-recording. If it is, I will leave a link to it below. It's the planner that I helped to design and put together and stuff with the rest of the Planner Insiders team for Kikki.K. So we were obviously all sent one when they launched it, and it's been available already on the Australian site and the US site, but it hasn't been available in the UK site yet, and it keeps getting pushed back because obviously they had the Christmas period and there were delays and stuff like that. But they have told me someone in January. Not 100% sure when, but if it's up, I'll leave a link below. If not, keep an eye on my Instagram and I will post on there as soon as I know that it's available. But yeah, I have never been in any B6 size planner or journal before, let alone a ringed planner. So this was a whole new ballgame for me, and it has completely changed my opinion on B6. The B6 planners I've seen in the past have been traveller's notebooks, so I've never seen a ringed planner before that's in B6 size, and because I don't use traveller's notebooks to plan in, I only use them as journals. I've only ever seen B6 as like a journaling size if I was going to use it ever. I've never seen it as like a planning size, so when I started using this I was massively impressed because it was the perfect size for me. It wasn't too skinny, but it didn't have a ton of space that I wasn't going to use, which is the problem I was having with personal size and then A5 size. It's a really nice in the middle size. I will be doing a separate video on the setup of this because I've had a lot of people ask me about it when I first shared it, whether I was going to do a setup video, whether I was going to share the inside, all that stuff. So yeah, now I've been using it for almost 2 months. I thought it's probably a good time to share that. Considering I have loved using it, and I can give kind of proper feedback on it. So in here I have all my work stuff, and I also have all my personal life stuff and plans. So I don't know if I will stay in this 1 planner with everything. I might end up splitting things up a bit later on in the year, but for now I'm really enjoying using this and just having 1 planner and everything in one place. So that's my planner that I'll be using. Journals, I will be very honest here, I have not done a creative journaling session for myself in months. I've done some for videos and I've done some for Patreon and stuff, but that's more kind of I have to as such for work. Obviously I enjoy doing it, that's the whole reason it's my job, but I've not like sat down with free time to just be creative in them. So that's something I really want to work on in 2019. So I have basically the whole of 2019 to document in here. I've got all the photos printed. Those are all done, they're all dated, they all, like, I can do them whenever, but I just haven't, like, found the time. Anytime I feel like I want to be creative, I have put that creativity into Patreon work or other types of work. This has kind of been bottom of my list, which is not great. And it shouldn't be that way. So yeah, I'm going to be going down south for most of January, which is why I'm pre-recording videos. But I'm going to be taking these with me, and I'm going to do my best to try and catch up with all of my journaling in here, because I've got to the point now where something will happen, we'll go to town, we'll have a lovely day out, and I want to come home and document it straight away. But because I haven't documented like the whole of 2018, and even though I don't do it in chronological order, I still want the journaling inserts to be somewhat chronological. So this one, for example, contains like my Brussels trip, Christmas from 2017, So it's kind of got like, you know, from November-ish to, I don't know, January-ish. That's how I feel about my journals. I want to do it chronologically, but not strictly chronologically. So if I want to document something in the moment, I have to kind of be somewhat caught up, which I'm not because I got so behind. So yeah, that's one of my goals for January, is to get somewhat caught up in at least one of these. This is my generic day-to-day journal, so I just journal life things in here. This one is more like journal prompts, journal challenges. This was from September, so this was probably the last time I sat down properly and did something creative in my journal, because the end of the year is hectic enough, but I was also closing down my shop. We were doing a ton of stuff for the big meet, and yeah, time just disappeared on me basically. So when it came around to December, I did put together a journaling challenge for December, but I never did it, which was really disappointing. So I have space in here for another journal challenge. I don't know when I'll do that, but yeah. And then I have a couple of spare inserts in here as well for when I fill up this one. Just realised there's a load of loose photos in there, let's not lose them. So yeah, that's my day-to-day journal. It's personal size, TN. This is a Zinni Dory. This traveller's notebook is what I call my Bonnie Dory. It's actually a Dixie Dory, which is like the name of the brand of TN, I suppose, the Etsy shop who made it. But because I document purely Bonnie in here, I call it my Bonnie Dory. This I only share on Patreon. I haven't actually done a process video in here in a little while, so I might do one of them for January. So if you want to see more in here and more of the process videos, you can go over to my Patreon, become a patron, and you can get access to all of my previous content on there. So if you scroll back through, you should be able to find these videos. But again, I have got very behind in here. I have all the photos, they're all printed, they're all dated, same as my day-to-day traveller's notebook, but I just haven't found the time to sit down and document in here unless it's been for a video. So again, this is another one of my goals, to get caught up in here. I think, to be honest, I want to get caught up in this one first, because this is stuff that's happening every single day, whereas Bonnie Dory stuff now has kind of slowed down a bit. Now she's not a tiny puppy because there's not an eventful thing every single day. So yeah, I want to get caught up in here first, and then I'm gonna crack on with this one. But yeah, that's my other creative journal that I'm going to be doing in 2019. I'll just put that on backwards. Ugh. There we go. So I call these my creative journals. It's mainly photos and paper bits and ephemera and stuff like that. This one, I don't really have a proper name for it. It's a type of art journal. I call it my all over the place, whatever the heck I want journal. Again, I keep this one for Patreon. A lot of my more creative videos are on Patreon now because they do take hours, and I mean hours, to just film. I could be sitting here for 2 to 3 hours doing an art journaling session or a creative journaling session or something else creative, because it doesn't always come to me as quick as it shows in the video. So you might see me place one thing on a page and then go straight on to placing another thing on a page, but between that could have been 20 minutes of umming and ahhing that obviously I'm not going to keep in the video. So because they take so long for me to record and then obviously edit and then upload, I do a lot more of them on Patreon, because obviously I'm getting kind of compensated for my time, I suppose. I hate using that word, but it's true. I've not stopped doing creative things on my channel, it's just I can't be doing it every single week. So yeah, I keep this one to Patreon. I did share this spread on my Instagram recently though, so I'll give you a little look of this one. The journal I'm using isn't a creative journal, it's just a notebook from Say Nice Things Stationery, but it does seem to hold up pretty well with watercolour and paint and stuff like that. Not amazingly, it's obviously, if you're going to choose an art journal, it's probably better to go for something that has like paper that's specifically for art journaling and mixed media stuff. But yeah, I just grabbed a notebook and I didn't intend on using it for this to begin with. Like I said, it doesn't really have like a specific thing like these journals, which I only use for documenting photos and stuff. This is more whatever the heck I want, slap it down, use some photos if I want, use paint if I want, stamps, ink, washi tape, the lot basically. But yeah, I've really enjoyed adding to this journal over the past few months at the end of 2018, so I'm definitely going to be doing more in here. And the last journal I have is this one. I have been increasingly obsessed with miniature stationery, and I have got another mini type of traveler's notebook that I'm going to show you and probably do some videos on in the future. But I did really want to make use of this little journal. I was sent this to do a blog post on back in, I want to say 2017, and it's been sat on my desk and I've been absolutely hoarding it. I have not touched it because I don't want to ruin it. I feel like that's a common problem to have, but it's just such a beautiful journal, and yeah, I'm just really scared to start using it. So I'm putting it on my desk, I'm having it in front of me. I'm going to try my best to ignore my brain and just start using it, whether it's paint, ink, doodles, I don't know. But I'm going to sit down one day and start this, and once I've started it, that's like the biggest hurdle over with, because once it's got something in here, I don't feel quite as bad adding more stuff to it. And fingers crossed, by the end of the year I will have a flip through video to share with you on this little journal. So yeah, we will see how that goes. This little journal's from Central Crafts as well. I'll leave a link to everything I've mentioned here, obviously, in the description. So these are the 5 journals and planners I'm going to be using in 2019, and I know that saying it like that makes it sound like I'm not going to use anything else throughout the whole of the year, but that's not true. These 5 are kind of like the core journals and planner that I plan to use. Obviously I might end up getting new things in 2019. Actually, that's very likely that I'll end up getting new things in 2019. So things might change. I might add some things to it. By the end of the year I might be using completely different things. I don't know. I am going to remove everything else from my desk and just have these on here so I don't feel at all overwhelmed by what's in front of me, and hopefully that will mean that I end up using them more. Fingers crossed. That's what I'm aiming for. I will leave links below to all of these, well, if they have links. This one obviously depends on if it's launched or not, and I don't think this one's actually available anymore. She did close her shop, but I'll double check as well. Yeah, I'd love to know below what you're planning on using in 2019. Do you have more journals or more planners? Are you going for a lot of different things or just a couple of things? Let me know and we'll have a little chat in the comments. As always, of course, if you have any questions as well, let me know below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.